Hi, everybody. Welcome to another movie chat with me, Joe Mayo, and also Tim Allen, and also Tom Hunyadi. All right. Do I say your name right? It's not Hunyadi. It's Hunyadi.
No, it's Sunyati. You're doing good. You're doing good,
Tom
kid.
Hunyadi.
Doing good.
And of course, Ramoga is joining us. Ramoga, let's give the old Ramoga movie salute.
You know what?
Yes, were you saying, young man? I interrupted you, Tom.
I said, you know what he wants. You know why he's here.
Yeah, I can see that, Tom. What are you enjoying there? A glass of wine there, Tom, huh?
I got a little, just this is the last of the bottle. It's a nice glass of Chianti. I did not have fava beans with it, but I had a nice steak.
I know what you're doing, yeah. I don't have a clip of Tim with the Queen and Elvis coming into his room. Too bad I don't have that. I know there's a clip of that circulating around.
It was not a meat-free Monday for myself.
No way, man.
As one we know would like.
Yeah. Oh, he preaches those practices. What are you going to do?
He sure does.
Hello, James Farley.
Hey, James.
Hey, Halloween Rock, one of our newest members. Hello again.
Hello.
Greetings.
And we got, of course, Ramoga. He loves Godzilla clips. There it is. So, did I put this? I did put the link up. Okay, so yeah, we're started 45 minutes later than usual. Usually, there's no real set time with this. We usually do it 5 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. I actually had to pick my girlfriend up from work at 5 o'clock today. Usually she works till 7. Now she's working at 5 every now and then. Her hours are not consistent. So, pick her up at 5, get home by 5:30 with the traffic, and here we are. So, hello, Matchstick Man, who's now arriving.
Which is a good little, I think it's called Matchstick Men, which is a good little Nick Cage, Sam Rockwell movie from the early 2000s.
I was going to talk about Status Quo. Status Quo. All right. I'm trying to pad this out because we don't really get to the movie talk. All right, let me talk about one that we don't have to talk about a lot because I've talked about this all the time. Where's everyone located? I'm in the state of New York. I think Tim is in the state of New York also.
I'm in the state of New York as well.
And Tom, where are you again?
I am in the state of Michigan.
Michigan. There you go. USA, that's where we're.
We're all in the USA. Yes. I showed that movie last week. I picked it up, and it looks fantastic. And I hope you enjoy it because it is a really good movie.
All right. I'm trying to think who recently said, watching a YouTuber. And I forget what movie, short-term memory. This was only like 2 hours ago, showing a movie and saying, "Oh, blah, blah," and I think Criterion should do one of these. And I would buy the Criterion. I'm thinking, what? Right. Whatever it was a movie that I have, and that looks fine as it is, and has extras all over the place. Oh, Marathon Man.
Yeah.
Said, "Oh, Marathon Man. I wish they'd do this." And I'm like, "Wait a minute. It's got a comment. It's got everything.
Yeah.
Commentaries, the making of it. It's got all kinds of shit on it. I don't know what you need that they can improve on."
Well, there's a one. I don't subscribe to his channel, but I do follow every once in a while. I will watch a video, and he's got a video up where he's saying it's in favor of Kino Lorre, and he's asking the question: do Kino have the best movie selection of any of the boutique labels? And I mean, there's a good argument for that because Kino Lorre does put out some really good titles.
I heard that somewhere too. I wonder if is it the older guy?
No, maybe younger than you and I.
Oh,
he's a
big
big
media.
Yeah, he's a big champion of 4K. Maybe if I see it again, I'll send you the link.
They all are. Most of the film channels are a big champion of 4K.
4K, yeah.
Yeah, but I was happy to get to. Go ahead, Tim.
Well, no, I would say that Kino wins for possibly resurrecting the. Kino puts out a lot of films that most of the companies never will. You know,
Yeah,
and that's what they're really good at. Is
No, I mean they put out a
making
lot of
things,
pre
man.
1970 films, which is great,
Yeah.
and they have a great variety. They also champion foreign films,
Yes.
which I think is fantastic.
Yes.
That Kino
Yes.
Lorber do. So
But I know
good on them.
somebody that has I forget her channel. I forget what her name is. Sorry, there's a channel called Movie Chatter, and I forget what her name is. And she has 4Ks, but I was just watching some of the new things she was showing, and she was saying how there's not much a difference between this one really for Blu-ray. Blu-ray's fine, and this one. And I got to tell you again. By the way, hello, Beetle Eddie. I don't mean to not say hello. I'm still watching DVDs, and some of them look pretty good. I was watching it's not a porno film, but I didn't get through it, so we'll talk about it another time. It's called The Last Hard Men. It's with James Coburn and Charlton Heston from 76. And it's on a Shout Factory video.
Yeah.
And it's DVD. Looks great. Looks great. I couldn't find any flaws.
Well, here's the thing though. Is it's like when you get when the boutique labels will get when they get licensed a film from like the major studio, they are the ones that are generally do the restoration of these films. You know, sometimes the studios like Paramount or Warner Brothers or whatever, they don't want to spend the money to do restorations. So it's those boutique labels that end up doing the restorations. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a guy that I watch. I started watching him because I'll be honest, his wife is drop dead gorgeous. So I started watching his
That's reason enough. Who is it?
You know, and lately he's been on a mission to clear out a lot of his movies. He's cutting down and getting rid of a lot, and he wants to make his collection only of boutique labels. And to me, that's just ridiculous because he's gonna miss. There's so many films that are never gonna come out on a boutique label in a 4K
I don't
box.
agree with that
He's
either.
going for all box sets, you know, and it's like there's so many movies. You're missing out on so much stuff if you do that.
Too many people, as you know, I think to me are thinking of movies as about the label, like Criterion. Even Gray 1951. Hi, Mike. If you're not, maybe I'll say hello later. I just was watching. He's got a section too. That's the Criterion corner. That's all Criterion.
Well,
and I don't understand that.
But you shouldn't do. It's about the film. It
agree.
should be about the film. It shouldn't be about the format. It shouldn't be about the company. It shouldn't be about the box set and the extras. It should be about the movie. And so many younger people, it's not about the movie. It's about the form factor and getting it. And this is cool.
No, there's people that are loyal to certain boutique labels, and I won't lie. I mean, I am a Criterion loyalist. I will admit that hands down. But I will
get a tattoo.
I got a stinking tattoo. But I mean, I've spent money just on like Severin. Put out this wonderful Black Emmanuel box set of all 24 Black Emmanuel films. That if it wasn't for them, we would probably never have the complete, Black Emmanuel series. All right,
and that's all fine. Collect what you want, but I'm just saying to be exclusive to I won't buy anything that's not on a deluxe label, and you're missing out. You can do what you want, but in my opinion, you shouldn't be exclusive to anything. A movie that you want to see comes out. It doesn't matter who put it out.
Right, but there are times, like someone will lose the licensing rights to it, and then another company will get it, right? Well, and then they'll lose the licensing right, and then another company will get it. So there's times where I know that juggling, but if I know that there's a chance that Criterion might get it, maybe I'll wait a little longer just to see.
I can understand that.
That's okay, but here's the other thing: these people that collect. They want to have everything. So rather than have 5 movies that they haven't seen that they would really like to see. They'll have 5 copies of the same movie, all on different labels. And to me, that's just silliness.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only sensible when it's record album.
Right. And then like Criterion, they release pretty much the whole Zatoichi catalog. Okay. I just happen to have this right next to me for whatever reason.
You always do.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, you know, it might take a label, another boutique label, like years to get the rights to all of those films, you know. So, you know, it is. But
well, you know, my thing, I just don't get, like, anybody can set up their shelves too, however they like.
Right.
A lot of people do that. I got all my Criterions over here, and then I've got all the other labels A to Z. It doesn't. They don't go in with the Criterion.
And that's what I do. That's what I do.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Me, like, I like Kino Lorber. I love them, but I don't. For me, it doesn't mean I'm right. I just tell you what I do, or don't do. I don't put like, this is my Kino Lorber corner. I put them A to Z regardless of company. You know, that's what I do. But yeah. So that we talked about that. Let's let me see. Bring up some people here. Comments that I think Cherry Carter. Hello.
Greetings.
Hey, Cherry.
Pirate Gamer Boy. Now, Frankenhooker, all I have to say to that is, want a date? Want a date? Want a date?
Never seen it. I need to see
all
it.
I could say about that, it's a comedy, mind you.
Yeah.
Of sorts. I like Frankenhooker. And I have a Blu-ray of it that I picked up in that sale or whatever that I haven't watched yet, but I've seen it once on VHS. And the box used to have a button on it. You know, she was standing there, you press the button, and it says, want a date? Want a date? And it's a comedy. See, I don't mind comedies when they're all out comedy. I just can't stand something like An American Werewolf in London, which is like a horror movie, but let's like
make a couple one-liners in there.
Yeah, one-liners and silly here and there. I don't like that. I don't know. To me, that's my thing. But I like Frankenhooker, but it's not for everybody. I don't want to steer anybody wrong. You know.
No, my only memory, and I can't remember her name. I think her first name's Charlotte. There was a Playboy centerfold in that movie in a hot tub scene. But since her Playboy photo shoot in this movie, a few years had passed, and she got a breast reduction in the meantime. And all I can say is the filmmakers didn't get what they paid for.
Wow.
I got you. All righty. I enjoyed The Skull last week, which I still have never seen. Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee. The Skull was a bit William Castle in that it was able to float and come out of the screen right at you. That sounds like fun. Okay, a couple of comments here. I don't know. They were all talking about, having a little conversation. That's okay. Tom, I'm a Criterion loyalist, but I still buy Mother labels as well, but I only try to get complete 4K collections from Criterion.
I just took, I want to say eight Blu-rays of Mother Blu-rays that Criterion had released over the last 2 years, and I took those and I took them to a used place to get some, cash. So, 9 times out of 10, maybe I'll keep them, just depending on the special features. If they got special features that are not on what Criterion ends up putting them on, like one of the movies that I'm going to show that I just picked up for Criterion, I had the Mother Blu-ray, but I ended up.
What is it? A new term? What is Mother?
Mother is like the parent, is where the film actually was released from, the original studio, like Warner Brothers.
Oh, that's a new term. Is this a new term?
No, like say like Warner Brothers. Let's say like Warner Brothers released, the Omega Man. Okay,
right?
Was it MGM or whatever? Let's say MGM released Omega Man, but then
it was Warner. Right.
That's the Mother release. But then let's say a boutique label released a version of it. And if it ends up being the better version, that's the version I'm going to keep. I mean, it's just like all the reissues, right? Of CDs that we get. Like if the archive release is the better version, the best version of Band on the Run, I'm going to get rid of my old copy.
No, I get that. I just never heard Mother before. That's a term I didn't use.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know about you guys, but it's not strict A to Z. Like I just put the A's together, the B's together, because you have to keep moving all the time. Things.
Right. However, you gotta put like if a movie starts with or the, you gotta put that to the end, and then you start with the next word.
Oh yeah. I don't go by T for the.
Yeah.
So
No,
you gotta go by the next word. It's like if it's like the Lady Eve, I put that under L.
Oh sure, absolutely. You'll be forever. We'll have all T's.
Yeah, same thing with CDs. Your T section would be huge because 90% of the bands start with a T. So
the.
Yeah,
Well, that's that goes under the. Well, anyway, hello, Mike.
Hello.
Place DVDs by genre except for Criterion, which all go together. Why? I don't know.
Well, I put mine all together. I don't have that many, but I started talking to people about movies on programs like this, and they're talking about Criterions and what do you have and stuff, and it just became easier for me to put them all together so that, okay, now I know what I've got, just for this.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you highlighted that, and I'll let you read it now.
Let's see. When do Tim and Tom come to the realization Joe had years back? There aren't enough years left to watch all these films on bookcases.
Hopefully, Joe, I love you to death, but I hope I never have that theory that you have that I don't have enough time to watch all of these films.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a theory, but again, if you watch like Tim, watch like in a week and don't repeat them.
I watched 7 films this week, so
I mean, it can be done. I just have to, you have to make a real effort. I think if it depends how many movies you got.
True, and I try to spend time with the old stuff, and then I like to make time for the new stuff as well.
Try to perfectly alphabetize. It does kind of drive me crazy. Sometimes I get one Blu-ray and I gotta move a ton. Now just put the A's together to be well. As long as you don't have like 7 to 10,000 movies, it shouldn't be too difficult. It's easy to find, I think. For me, it is.
Right.
Even if it's not strict alphabetical. This Jekyll and Hyde shot, the only Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Frederick March 1931/32 version.
That's your favorite version?
Oh yeah, by far. I mean, I don't really like the Spencer Tracy. It's not horrible, but I don't think the Spencer Tracy. I don't like the silent one either.
I know. Silent.
All the guy does is make faces because he didn't have the effect. I'm turning.
Well, yeah, but no, he did. I think he did a great job turning into Dr. Jekyll with just using expressions. I think he did a fantastic job.
Was early. Now I'm late. Okay, read mine. Okay, I missed one. Sorry. Read mine. Okay, what is yours? What did I miss by B. Letty?
I don't know.
All I have was this. That's all I see on my end.
Hello.
Which I did say. Hello. I got to start getting into it now. Last night I saw the new movie Rental Family with Brendan Fraser in Japan. Anyone seen it?
I skipped that one, but I have a friend that I work with, and he really enjoyed it. And he said it was very emotional, and he quite enjoyed it, like I said. But I think I'm just going to end up skipping that one.
About Regal. I don't see anything else, Eddie. About Regal, I don't see it. Did anybody else see another comment? Sometimes they don't show up for some reason. People think I'm ignoring them. Sometimes I do.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it. Sorry, Eddie.
Hold on here. I'll put another one of these up just in case. Let's see try it again, Eddie. See if it comes up again. I've 4D man. I've watched maybe one film in the last 2 months, and I'm struggling to recall which one it was. You're telling me.
That's why I keep a diary.
Yeah.
And I write down every
I have my database. All right, let's start talking about these things. Anybody wants to make comments, do me a favor. Do yourselves a favor. Try to wait a little bit so we can get through this. If you have anything to say pertaining to what we're talking about here, That's fine, right? Because we want to get feedback. Anyway, I'll tell you a movie I picked up. Okay, it's a movie that I saw one time on VHS, which didn't do it justice, and I really wasn't paying that close attention to it. It was boring as all hell. It's a classic. That'll give you a hint. I think it's Tim's favorite movie of all time. And I said I'm going to give it a proper viewing again. I'm not going to commit to it. I will not commit to it until I give it a shot.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
It's not my favorite movie of all time. I didn't used to like it either until I saw it on a big screen.
Oh, okay. Vertigo. And this cost me $5 used. DVDs aren't $5 used, Eddie.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I remember paying $30 for that on DVD back in the day.
Oh yeah, how you doing, 4D? Yeah, the thing is, but you know, used DVDs, they're $1 now. They're not or less.
Right.
But anyway, okay.
But when that was brand new and Universal was rolling out all of their Hitchcock films, I remember paying $30 for that movie.
Yeah. Oh, sure. No, I'm sure it's worth. Look, I don't usually. Anybody knows me and my friend Danny when we talk. I don't complain about money that often. It's $5 for God's sake. But anyway, all right. Let me get through some of the things that I watched. Yeah, I watched two things I've never seen before. That's a shock. That's what I'm supposed to do more of. Yeah, I know. You and 100 million other. You and 100 million other people. I'll tell you if I like it, if I fall asleep, or what happens with it. If I understand it, whatever. That's all. Oh, there you go. Blu-ray. There you go. All right. Well, first of all, let's get this over with. The first one. Because I did see Ben-Hur a second time on the big screen. Last time we were on here, I told you that we were in a theater. There was some people making some noise, but it wasn't so much about that as it was that the sound something was wrong with the sound. Well, I called up, and people say AI. I don't like AI for everything, but you can get information now on AI. Go Google, and I talked into the thing because you can't get a human being anymore on the phone at a movie theater. So I said, is there a direct line to this movie theater? Because I want to ask them, rather than go to, I was looking at other movie theaters. I wanted to go to the same theater, but I wanted to see if they moved it to another room. And when you call the regular number, you just get a computer. So I did AI or whatever you call it, voice thing. And I said, is there a direct number for yada yada theater? And sure enough, they gave me a direct number. I called up and I couldn't believe a human being answered in like 2 rings. And I said, the problem that with this movie, last Sunday I saw it, is it moved to another theater? Yes, it was. They moved it. So there must have been a complaint or two. And anyway, the second time I saw this, perfect. Big giant screen, the right kind of brightness, because it was a little dark, a little too dim the last time, the right brightness. The sound was thunderous. It was around. It was perfect. The horse race with the galloping, you were there. It was perfect. So anyway, I loved it again. Can't get enough of it. And that's Ben-Hur. Now, that's one example of a 1950s great biblical quote, because it's not really a Bible story. It's a fictional story. Some people would argue that all the Bible stories are fictional. But I'm saying that's how you make a biblical movie. Not the way the one I saw yesterday. It was Easter Sunday, and I just happened to be going around the channels, and there was Turner Classic Movies, and they were showing The Silver Chalice with Paul Newman, his first movie, 1954. And I had only heard horrendous things about it. So I put the movie on, and within 15, 20 minutes, I could tell this ain't going to recover. But the thing goes 2 hours and 20 minutes, this thing. And it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my 60-something years. And that's not just something people just say that a lot of times. Oh, that was the worst thing I ever saw. Oh, it's literally one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Gene Simmons in that as well?
No, Virginia Mayo.
Virginia Mayo, okay.
No relation.
Yeah.
And she looked like what? I didn't hear you. What?
Was Peter Criss in it?
No. It looks, but she looked like Peter Criss or Gene Simmons. Oh, when you said Gene Simmons, you meant the Kiss Gene Simmons?
No, he did not making a joke.
No.
Because I could have thought of a better joke had I been faster. It looked like Gene Simmons for Kiss, because you got this eye crap on and this pancake makeup. She looks like a hooker from a bordello. She was so unattractive. I'm like, man. And Paul Newman. I know you know this. Tom is a follower of this stuff. I know he likes Paul Newman as well. Paul Newman he hated it so much, his performance in it, that later on, some years later, he put out an ad or something in a paper urging people not to see it and apologizing for his performance in the movie. And supposedly, from what I read, it made people actually just want to see it more. I think it might have been a television broadcast. I don't know. And he never looked back. He always hated this movie. Right now, here's what I say: a lot of it's what you bring to it when you see a movie, what you heard. I don't think he was so bad in it. I mean, he didn't have much to do in it, much to play. But I thought, first of all, we always got to say this, like I do with Elvis or anybody else. I'm straight as an arrow. However, he looks good in the movie. I mean, he looks like a Greek statue come to life.
You're secure in your manhood.
I'm secure in my man. But the thing is, the guy, he looks good in the part, I think. And I didn't think he was so bad, to tell you the truth. But he didn't really have much to do. I will also say, I covered Virginia Mayo, but there's a young Natalie Wood in there who plays the Virginia Mayo character when she was a girl. Not much to say about that. All these names pop up, like E.G. Marshall, who is, his voice just doesn't fit the biblical voices. I don't know. Perhaps, my dear, it doesn't sound like a biblical voice. It sounds like a
of E.G. Marshall of 12 Angry Men fame.
Yeah, he didn't sound right. And then Joseph Weissman
always makes me laugh. Always makes me laugh when Joe does an English accent.
I wasn't trying to do one there. But I don't know. Whatever you want to say, like these biblical things, like. Was the food not to your liking? That kind of thing. He just sounds like a regular. I can't find the word. A regular schmo or something. He doesn't sound. Anyway, and then Joseph Weissman, Dr. No, is in there. Strother Martin. I didn't even see him. I couldn't pick him out. Herbert Rudley. I don't know how many people know him.
Failure to communicate.
Yeah. Yeah, I see the silver chalice. But I thought that Lorne Greene was pretty good in there. He's pretty powerful. He plays Peter, the disciple. And anyway, and I don't know how to say this name. Pierre Angeli. I don't know. She's a bright spot in the movie. She's like a bright spot. But I really suffered. The main thing I did wasn't the problem with Paul Newman. Oh, Jack Palance. How can I forget Jack Palance? I think Jack Palance is the best thing about it, and that's not saying much, because he was nailed as being very over the top and theatrical in it. But I didn't think he was bad, and something had to bring it to life. I'd rather see people choose scenery than be a part of it.
Right.
And as the saying goes, and I thought he offered a few moments that would keep you revived and awake. I mean, I thought he was probably a highlight, if anything. The problem that I had with this was the sets, cardboard sets, horrible looking, claustrophobic, cheap looking sets, man. And the production values, I really couldn't stand it. It looked to me in one scene, it looks like there are these rectangular bricks that, so help me, they look like they're drawn on with a magic marker or something like that.
Probably are. It's terrible when a great cast just lays an egg. And it's not really, I mean, sometimes it's not their fault. It's the direction, it's the writing, like the sets, like you said. I mean, or if it's just a very low budget film, and it's sad.
And this was but I think this was $2 million or more dollars, which I think in 1954 was pretty good.
The 50s, that's a pretty good budget right there.
I don't know, man. I just I'm going to talk about what the silver chalice hardly figured into the movie. I mean, he's supposed to be, Paul Newman is a slave who winds up, he has a talent for sculpting, so they want him to take the chalice that Jesus used during the Last Supper and I guess laminated in silver and carve in the face of Jesus and the disciples, and that hardly figures into the whole story, But you should have called it The Big Sleep instead, or something like that, because it was boring as hell, long, terminally dull. Now, the thing I don't understand is I didn't realize it was up for 2 awards. One of them is cinematography, which is lost.
I hope it's
on
not set design.
No, not set design. Cinematography is one of them, and Franz Waxman did the score, which I didn't even notice the score. It did nothing for me.
Right.
Sorry to say. So.
Listen, Jack Palance, the best thing he ever did was the way he said, "Ripley's, believe it or not."
Let me just take a moment here to catch up because people are commenting any old way. All right. Save this for later after we're done talking about it. Like, what's your favorite post-noir films? That's impossible. There's too many.
I want to show one here in a few minutes.
Anybody got it?
Body Heat, 1981.
Body Heat.
That's coming out for Criterion's releasing that here in a couple months.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Kim Novak's still alive. Yeah, she looks a little different.
That is true. That is true, and you can tell she had some work done.
Yeah, it looks like somebody cut her with a knife across the mouth.
Yeah.
Last time I saw a picture.
Cuts like a knife.
Yeah. Okay, I saw Guess Who's Coming to Dinner double feature and In the Heat of the Night. Now, I liked Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. I saw and liked. I don't think I've ever seen In the Heat of the Night. I'd like to.
Oh, brilliant.
Listen, Sidney Poitier had one of the best years ever in 1967. He had the Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, In the Heat of the Night, and what's the school one with
To Serve with Love.
To Serve with Love.
We just saw it too.
To Serve with Love. Yeah. One of the best 1-2-3 punches
he's great.
Ever have in 1 year.
I like him in almost anything. I love the Defiant Ones as a movie.
The Defiant Ones is brilliant, and then still no Blu-ray release for that. Come on, where is it?
I was looking to get it. I was looking to get it and looked online. I couldn't find anything that I to get. But I friggin' love Vertigo. There you go. Love the score in Vertigo.
I bet you 4D Man's got a copy of the score.
Oh, I'm sure.
Vertigo.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I do too. Spring Hill Jim, greetings.
Greetings.
Yeah, I didn't have. But they were. You know what gets me about back to the Ben-Hur thing? The people were pretty good in this audience. There wasn't that many there. The second time I saw Ben-Hur, but there was a couple of guys in the front more that would laugh sometimes. I can't. What are you laughing about? There's nothing because you think it's an old movie. You think you're supposed, but it wasn't. Believe me, it wasn't that much, and it didn't ruin the movie for me. But at the end, like when they're having some serious like love scenes and things, and he's embracing the girl, and they're saying these things, and the music, that great score is playing. I can't stand when people go out of their way to do this. Like letting everybody in the theater know you find it boring that moment. So you don't understand good cinema.
They're letting you know they're an idiot.
Yeah.
It's nice of them to let you know how stupid they are. It's really nice of them.
You, sir, are an idiot. Thank you.
Treasure of the Sierra Madre?
I would. You see, Bogey's best performance is not the one he won Best Actor for, The African Queen. I tell you this right now. It damn well might be, the one you just said, Joe. Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes through a little fever there, kind of.
Yeah. He's got the fever, and the only cure is more cowbell.
Okay. I know him. The Paul McCartney lookalike, I always say. Pontius Pilate from Ben-Hur. Yeah. All right. I'm going to try to catch up a little bit. I really want to get the comments in, but I looked up photos of that movie. The sets look so cheap. They filmed it in CinemaScope all for nothing.
Yep.
There you go. Happy. Yes, it's the Frederick March version, sir. Yes, it is. You can't see it. I'll stand up a year from now, maybe. Maybe.
Mark this day down on your calendar, guys.
Yeah, I know. I can't take it anymore. Yeah. Hello. I'm going to start getting back to. Sadly, what do you mean? Sadly, be thankful you haven't seen the Silver Chalice.
But I love what he says. He says I really like The Long Hot Summer, which is a really good film. And it has Orson Welles. And I got to tell you, not only is Orson Welles one of the great cinematic, masterminds of directing and cinematography and whatnot, he is actually a really fantastic character actor that I don't think he gets enough credit for.
The thing about Paul Newman, who's one of my favorite actors, is just like with Steve McQueen, I don't think he matured till late on. So I don't think I think the first mature performance from Paul Newman was 1967. So it wasn't even Harper in 1966 where he overacts in a really it doesn't work when he first plays the Private Eye Harper.
Oh, Harper.
In 66, Harper. Yeah. He's just so gauche, and there's no, he's trying too hard to be cool. But when he played Hombre, even though it's a bit, you could say it's a bit laughable because he's playing a North American Indian, but even so, that's where he was very still. His performance became very honed down.
So like The Hustler.
That's true. It's a great film, and I think he gets away with that because he's playing somebody young and somebody reckless as opposed to his manager. So I think as an acting performance, he gets away with it. But I don't think he's cool in The Hustler. I think he's playing immature. But so he reached maturity in 67, and Steve McQueen didn't reach maturity in The Great Escape. I think he reached maturity with The Cincinnati Kid in 65.
Cincinnati Kid, a couple years before.
You can't get Paul Newman more mature in The Sting. He's kind of like, I think he felt he was too young for that part too in The Sting. He said in interviews he wanted, he needed somebody to be a little older and more wizened than that. But I think he does great in that movie.
But once he reached that maturity, the poise and the style that Paul Newman had, I think, was second to none.
Well, yeah, that and HUD too. I mean, even though he's a prick in the HUD, I think there's some maturity in there too.
Yeah. I should make it clear. I'm not talking about the previous films like he's not acting well. I'm just saying if you're looking at whether or not he's cool rather than he's acting, I think that starts in 1967.
Cool and Luke.
That was 67, yeah.
Cool. Regal has a thing on Mondays called the Mystery Movie. You don't know what you're seeing. Might be great, might be shite. $7. I'm thinking of trying it.
AMC does that as well. I think all of the corporate theaters do that.
Another fellow is James Coburn, who I think didn't reach maturity until 1967 as well. So I don't think in Our Man Flint he had that coolness. I know it was all about being cool, but to me he didn't feel cool there. It was 67 with the President's Analyst that he started.
Well, that's why, because Paul was the new man on the block. I haven't seen any of these. Killer Dogs, A Breed Apart, Killer Dogs on an Island.
Killer.
No.
No.
Love Orson Welles, Jane Eyre.
Oh, Jane Eyre's a great one. You got a young Elizabeth Taylor in that one playing the Jane. What's her name? Not Jane, but the actress. I'm forgetting her name. Olivia de Havilland's sister. Joan Fontaine. Yeah.
And Bernard Herrmann did the soundtrack for that too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that film. That's a good movie.
Oh yeah, Slapshot.
Yeah.
All right, let me because I want to move along too. I'm glad we got the comments. We need comments. Thank you. But I want to say another movie that my girlfriend loves musicals. After we got done watching, or I got done watching The Chalice, she was very lucky. She was in the other room. She came in literally for the last 2 minutes of the Silver Chalice.
Oh, so you had to suffer.
Oh yeah. But she didn't. She just happened that she was doing something else. She comes in, sits down. I wanted her to at least be able to see that it was Paul Newman, to get a shot of Paul Newman at the end. But anyway, so what was on, and I left it on for her mostly because I knew she'd like it. Easter Parade. And I left it on at 1948. It was good, you know. I mean, it's not my thing. I don't love Fred Astaire kind of things. Judy Garland, I could look at Judy Garland. I could listen to Judy Garland. I like, Judy Garland's all right with me. But the two of them together, I was anxious to see it. I did think it was pretty good, Irving Berlin songs. I didn't love all the songs, but I enjoyed it. And, Technicolor, all that was nice to see. And they were a good pair in it. Of course, it turns into a love story. I guess she's got a daddy complex in the movie, falling in love with Fred Astaire. It's like 20-something years on her. But, yeah. And then you had, who else was it? Ann Miller is in there as well, doing some singing and stuff. I never want to see it again, but I mean, see, this is the kind of thing when I rank movies and rate movies, I like to rate movies on a 4-star basis. I don't do the 5-star thing. And see, I have trouble with this. Like I would say that was Easter Parade. It was a good movie. Like I'd give it, in my view, like objectively 3 out of 4 stars. If you ask me on an enjoyment level, I only enjoyed it about 2.5 stars worth, pretty good, but I could tell it was better than that, just for me, that's how it goes when I'm sometimes rating movies, because I'm conflicted sometimes with how I like it and what I think it should get technically. In the case of The Silver Chalice, I don't give many movies 0 out of 4, but I gave it 0. I was going to give it 1 because, I thought Jack Palance was a little amusing and Paul Newman's his first film, so let's give it 1. And I said, no, I just disliked it that much. I couldn't even give it anything.
Well, I'm glad you did that because, even though it's got a good cast, listen, if it's a turkey, you got to call it a turkey. I don't care how the movie is dressed up. If it's dressed up with this great cast, if it's still a turkey, it's still a turkey. And and I'll admit when there's a great cast, and if the movie there was a great a movie a few years back with my favorite actor of all time, De Niro, and Christian Bale was in it, and then this had all Margot Robbie was in it. They had this fantastic cast, but it totally laid an egg, and
well, that's the thing. Sometimes I try to do I can't think of the word, like mix it up, like a stew. Like if it was well done, good acting cast, but I didn't really love it, I would try to, I can't think what the word is I'm looking for. Compromise. Try to compromise, It's been like Amadeus. Yeah. That was what I hated Amadeus.
Until the day I die, Amadeus.
And I gave it 1 out of 4 stars. I don't care what anybody says. I didn't even say, well, it's a nice looking movie and it's well acted and everything. So I'll give it at least 3, if not 4. No, I didn't do. See, people do that. I used to get into like online debates with film people in the community because it always seemed to me that a couple of guys I knew they couldn't resist giving something a star rating. And some people don't even care about stars ratings, but they'd always tend to be swayed to give it what they think it's supposed to get. Like if they knew a movie had a great reputation, if they saw Citizen Kane, somebody saw Citizen Kane, and they said, I hated everything about this movie, they'd still say, I give it 3.5 stars. Well, come on, because you're worried about your reputation or whatever. It's like if you didn't know going in what a film usually gets, what would you give it if you didn't know what its reputation was? I always wonder about that. And it's hard sometimes. That's the reason I mentioned Amadeus was at the top of my head. That's one of the very few examples I can ever think of where I saw something that's a great film or, award-winning film and all that. And I remember I liked F. Murray Abraham in it. Salieri, but I didn't really like it.
He won Best Actor for that movie.
Yeah. All right, so where are we going here? All right, again, I'll get to you guys. Let's Slapshot we talked about, so it's the next one. Okay, Spanish terror film Veronica. No, I don't know.
Elvis Costello song.
One of the few good things he has. That and Pump It Up.
All right, Joe. Come on, guy.
And he's not Elvis Costello. He's Declan McManus. There's only one Elvis, okay?
He tried. I know this is a movie show, but I got to defend him on this. In 1986, I think he tried to go back to being Declan McManus, and his label would not let him. And then he left that label and signed with Warner Brothers, and they wouldn't let him either. So blame him all you want. He tried to go back to Declan
that's fair.
Aloysius McManus, which is his name, and they did not.
That's fair.
So
talk amongst yourselves, and I'll find the Vertigo.
He's looking for both versions of the Vertigo soundtrack, American and import.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it depends on the country. Sometimes you get licensed to music that you can't get licensed in other countries. So that's why sometimes you'll see a different lineup or a track listing in one country than the other.
Would you rather watch a musical or a war movie? To me, it depends on the movie.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, I'll watch a war movie over a musical.
Generally, I probably pick the war movie too.
Me too, but there are musicals that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
So
Oklahoma would be my favorite.
I can't think. We're down at Fred Astaire. What's the one where Fred Astaire is dancing on the ceiling and everything? That's a great film.
Ghost Story.
Lionel Richie's dancing on the ceiling. I was kidding.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it's amazing. I figured out how they did it. I spent like a half an hour one day thinking about it, and I figured out how they did it. But it's great. He goes up the wall, and next thing he's dancing on the ceiling, and he's on the other wall, and it's amazing to watch.
What about Donald O'Connor? Did he do something like that too? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I think Astaire did it first. But anyway, it's. I like musicals.
Rocco asked this question, and then he said, "Which movie you see? What you didn't get the hype?" And he said, "You just answered my question," and I can't remember what it was.
Amadeus, Joe.
Amadeus. Okay, but hype. Yeah, I didn't. And then there's movies like that. Just
sorry, Joe.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
A couple of weeks ago, I tried to watch Inception and didn't get more than 10 minutes into it before I turned it off. And I never do that with movies. Talk about a hyped movie that I just thought was, nope, not for me. Not for
Royal Wedding. Gene Kelly. Yeah, I heard about that afterwards. They have like a little, sometimes on TCM, they talk about the movie after. Yeah. Gene Kelly was supposed to be in Easter Parade, but he injured himself. Fred Astaire took over, which, when you think about it, as I understood it from this, that Gene Kelly had already done a movie or so with Judy Garland. So this gave an opportunity for Fred Astaire, the only time, to be on with Judy Garland. So that worked out for the best, I think. All right. So while we're moving along here, let's go. Well, Tim, let's have you go second, because usually I know you watch so many things that's why I leave you late.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go, Tim.
I have quite a few things to say about a couple of them.
Well, before you do, hold on. 4D's got his record, so let's let him show those first.
Yeah, please.
So I've only got the one version of Vertigo.
really?
This is supposed to be the best audio-wise. The best version you can get is the 60th anniversary edition. With the Golden Gate Bridge on the back. I can't remember if I can't remember what the record label's like. Let me have a look.
Leah, let me know when you want to sell that, all right?
You always say that. One of those Disney labels, maybe. It looks like a hypnotic label, huh?
That's Kim Novak before the facelift.
Yeah.
It's very Saraband.
Oh, yeah, they're good. They're
nice.
good labels.
I like that. Yeah.
There you go. But that's the best version. When I read around and I was trying to find what was the best edition to get, this was the one. But I think it might have cost me about 60 quid. So it's not cheap. But it sounds beautiful though.
I'll give you 61 quid.
I saw Woody Allen's A Midsummer Night's Sex Comedy for the first time. Any comments on it? For me, it's one of his least.
Good cast. Again, here's another one where it's a fantastic cast, but yeah.
I love it. I love it. I think the cinematography is beautiful. I think it evokes summer beautifully, and I'm really taken with the whole magical thinking of it, where they're being just devil may care about whether they've got whether they can depict a spirit world through that fancy globe that he's got. And this idea of Woody Allen as an inventor coming out of with this flying bicycle coming out of the shed, I just love all that stuff. I think it's a great film.
I saw that in the movie theater when it came. I think it was 82.
Me too,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
early
I didn't
80s.
even know I think much about Woody Allen at all then, really. So,
you had to have known his reputation at that point, right?
well, I had seen Sleeper. The first movie I saw that I remember seeing his as a kid was Sleeper, which I always, when people say I've never seen a Woody Allen movie before, what should I say? Well, I say it depends if you want screwball comedy. Like I would recommend Sleeper for the first movie, and then maybe something later like Annie Hall or.
Right, or interior, like a
Crimes and Misdemeanors, maybe.
Drama. I mean, I would definitely, if anybody asked me about, what to watch, I would definitely suggest the screwball comedy or the comedies of Woody Allen before you dig into like the dramas of Woody Allen.
Yeah, start out with I like him to be in his movies. I've seen movies like Match Point, which I like that he's not in.
He's not in, yeah.
But I like to watch him as an actor in a comedy. Usually, that's what I like. Okay, we're gonna get moving on here. 4D, do you do sound comparisons on the albums? Upgrade?
Well, not really, because my basic system is basic. I'm not an audiophile, so you can't really see the deck here, but it's what do you call those Acoustica things? LP 120. Audio. Are
you wearing a poncho by the way? 40?
I am, yeah, an alpaca poncho.
Yeah, very good, very nice.
So I can't really comment on, other than reading other people's reviews. I can't really comment on my estimations about whether a record sounds good or clear and so forth. Has always to be qualified by the fact that my sound system is basic. So I'm not really in a position to. I'll still go for the best release of a record, but as a trying to distinguish between one release of a record and another is, my system isn't up to it. My ears aren't up to it either, actually. But yeah. So yeah, I'm not an audiophile.
Okay, Tim, let's hear what you watched this past week.
Okay, well. Just before I came on, I watched a movie strictly for the title that I've got. Let's just say I've got it, okay? And because it was called The Unholy Four, so Joe would understand why I watched it. They stole the title, so I'm like, okay, I want to see what this movie that stole the title, because
it's not us, is it? It's not us.
Not us, is it? Yeah.
This was a British noir sort of film. It was more of a mystery film than anything. It was directed by Terence Fisher, which surprised me. And it was okay. It did keep you guessing. Well, it kind of guessing and kind of not guessing it, but it was basically a whodunit. It was just, this guy, really quickly, this guy comes back after being 4 years missing, that nobody knows where he is. And it turns out he's pretty sure one of his 4 friends, or 3 friends that he went on vacation with, or his wife, who didn't go, had one of them try to kill him, and they succeeded, and he lost his memory for 3 years. And anyway, it goes on and on and on, and eventually most people would figure it out before the very end, but it took me a while.
Well, we eventually know what the movie is.
Yeah, what is the movie?
Yeah, I already said it's The Unholy Four.
Oh, The Unholy Four. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, we both screwed that one up, Tom. Both of us.
Yeah. Oh well.
And I watched another movie that I don't have to show.
Do you have the case? Do you have the case to that?
I don't. No. I kind of got it from YouTube, but I didn't watch it on YouTube. I put things on discs, and I watch them in my living room on discs.
Cool.
And
cool.
I also watched and I thought I'd seen The Unholy Four, and I hadn't. And I watched a Fritz Lang film I'd never seen. I took a Fritz Lang movie class when I was in college, so I loved
cool.
Fritz Lang, and I watched Hangman Also Die, which I'd never seen before, and I this movie had a lot of stuff in it. I don't think this is. I think this was made in Europe someplace. I don't think it was made in Hollywood.
Post-war or pre-war?
I'm not even sure. Either during the war or post, I think. But yeah, it's a movie about the Nazis, and Fritz Lang is, if you know anything about Fritz Lang, you know he hated the Nazis. He left Germany because they wanted him to be the to run the German film company.
That's right.
UFA. They want, and the night after they asked him, he was gone. He left. He left his wife. He left everything. He just went to France. He's like, no, I don't want any part of that. So anyway, there's just, this movie is brutal for a 40s film. This movie is brutal. And it was great, and I'm glad I've seen it. I don't want it starts out with this guy who is running the town that they're in. They're in Czechoslovakia. It takes place in Czechoslovakia, and he's this German officer, and he orders people to be killed constantly, and he's just a terror. And the main character, who's played by Brian Donlevy, kills him. And the rest of the movie, they're hunting for this guy, and they'll do anything to anybody to get him. I mean, they're killing, by the end of the movie, they're killing like 20 people an hour until he turns himself in. You know, it's pretty brutal. It doesn't paint the Nazis in a good picture, in a good way at all. But it was a very good movie. If
it was more of an American film, if it was American produced, it probably wouldn't be as brutal as. So I'm sure it's probably more European back.
Yeah, and you know they're doing other things to people, and they're torturing people, and it's, you know, it's for a 40s film. It doesn't show anything. There's nothing explicit in it or anything, but just the subject matter was not the subject matter of an American film in the 40s. And I watched 3 films on Tubi. I watched. You're able to get on there, huh?
Big thumbs up to Tubi.
Yes,
I can't get on Tubi. I tried.
And there's a reason I watched this movie. I watched the first nudie musical.
Hair
and it's not the 2 reasons that everybody thinks I would have watched it for. Cindy Williams is in that movie. She plays a major role, and she's really good. She's the best part of the movie, as far as I'm concerned.
Really,
she's adorable in it. She's the best part of the film, and even Ron Howard makes a cameo in this movie.
Oh wow!
And it's a typical 70s sex comedy with some nudity, not all that much. And it's just, you know, it's a Roger Corman type film. And it was okay. It was fine. And then I watched the documentary on Tura Satana, who led.
She's in Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
A horrible life, it turns out.
I didn't know anything. It's funny you say that because tomorrow I get my Blu-ray copy of Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Oh wow. Well, after you watch it, you should go on Tubi and watch the documentary. Is just called Tubi.
Yeah, I thank you for letting me know. I will, and then I'll report because I will watch Faster. I've always wanted to see Faster Pussycat.
It's one of my favorite films. That is one of my favorite films. It's
one of my least favorite films. Yeah. One of my least favorite films that Turo Santana, how you say it, is Astro Zombies. Don't see that.
Astro Zombies terrible. But she was friends with Ted B. Michaels for life after that. They became fast friends, and he was friends with her till the day she died. So I watched that, and then I watched a movie that I really wanted to see, and it didn't come near me in a theater. I don't think it's ever had a physical release or anything. And it's a movie called What Happens Next. Came out in 2023. Does anybody remember this movie? It did get advertised a lot on like YouTube and stuff.
No.
It's Meg Ryan And it's the kind of movie I wish they would make more of these days. They used to make them all the time. It's sort of a romantic comedy, but it's not. It's Meg Ryan and David Duchovny, and they're both traveling, and a snowstorm hits, and they're both stuck in an airport, and they happen to see each other, and they're old flames, and that's the movie. They're basically the only two people in it. There are lots of people in the airport, and that kind of, the whole thing takes place in an airport. And Meg Ryan directed it and co-wrote it, which surprised me. I didn't know this till the end of the movie and the credits start rolling. I'm like, wow. But I like the story. It starts out really slow, but a lot of stuff happens. And I generally like the movie and I want to see it again. But the thing I want to talk about is how it was filmed. It was definitely filmed digitally. I don't know how much of it they were in front of a blue screen and how much they were actually in this physical place. You couldn't tell. But I could tell that it wasn't all. A lot of it wasn't.
It came out in 2023, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably filmed during the pandemic.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah. But the thing is, and I don't know again if this is a conscious choice or anything, it was definitely shot digitally, but it wasn't like graded. It didn't look like a film. There was no attempt to make it look like a film. It looked like a 70s sitcom if 70s sitcoms looked this good. But they didn't. Right. I mean, it looked great, but it was too real. You know what I mean? Everything looked like you were looking through a window.
Soap opera effect.
Yeah, it was definite. But I enjoyed the film, and if you like, I call it a romantic comedy, but it's not really a comedy. Not much fun happens. It's just sort of a story of these two people, and through the course of their talking, you figure out what went on in their relationship, what drove them apart, and you find out things about each person. And I thought it was a very good script. Yeah, it starts out slow, but by the end, you're like, I rarely wanted two people to get together more in a movie than I did in this one. And I won't tell you what happens, but I thought it was fantastic. So that's on Tubi.
I don't see you do any of these. No, I don't see you do any of these things on any of your streams. You always get over here.
I would have done that on my stream.
I'd watch you. I'd see you careful.
I swear.
So anyway, if anyone has any interest, that's on Tubi right now, and I highly recommend it. And then I watched another movie from 2023, Showdown at the Grand.
Oh, jeez.
Which this is like if Roger Corman was making movies in 2023. This is way better than it had any right to be. Rutger Hauer is in it, and Terrence Howard, who was magnificent in this movie. This is one of the best movie performances I've seen in a long time. He is fantastic in this. And he runs a movie theater, and he loves this Rutger Hauer movie guy from the 90s. Okay, this is him now, but in the 90s, he was this blonde goddess guy, and God guy. And he just loves movies, and there's typical B movie fashion. Again, there's only about 8 people in this movie, very low budget. This mogul from this business wants to tear down the block and put up something that's going to make her a lot of money, and he won't sell his theater. So all hell breaks loose, of course, because it's that kind of movie. But it was just done really well. I enjoyed it. I if anybody has a chance to see this, it's not gory or graphic or anything like that. Okay. And it can be very funny actually at times. And it's just done well. For what it is, it's done very well. And I enjoyed it.
Well, cool. I'm glad you're watching newer films.
And last but not least is a movie that I don't remember ever coming out. This is like 2003 or something like that, maybe 2007, sometime in the early 2000s.
That's what it is.
Grand. Anybody ever see The Grand?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
No.
I forget the director's first name, and I don't know if he's related. It's a Penn that directed it, but the thing about this movie is it's about like world champion poker, right? All of these people are poker players.
Is it Michael Penn, the singer? The singer?
No, not Michael Penn and not Sean Penn, but it's somebody.
Not Chris Penn.
Zach Penn.
Chris?
Zach Penn.
No.
Zach
Right.
Penn.
Yeah, I only care about Sean
But
Penn.
here's the thing. They only worked with like a 27-page outline. It's like a Christopher Guest film. All of the actors made up all the dialogue. They just wung it. And it's really, really good. Everybody is great in it. And I mean, you can see who's in it. I think.
Yeah, you already have blow it up to make it fun. There you go. Look at Woody Harrelson. Who is that?
Yeah, Woody Harrelson. All kinds of people are in it.
It's like the one from Larry David. What the hell is
Yeah.
What's his name?
Cheryl Hines is in it. She's really good. She's really good. I always forget his name. This is the best thing I've ever seen.
That's Sinbad. Who is that guy up there in the corner?
No,
he had that cop show in the
Ice Cube, Ice-T. Ice.
No, that's not. He's a white guy. He was part of.
No, that's David Cross. That's David Cross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's Ray Romano is in. No, that's not Ray Romano, but he's in it.
No.
And I forget his name, but he's a great character actor. They're all on here, but I can't. Here's some of their names. There's a price tag over some of their names.
Okay, I'm all right. Yeah,
but anyway, it's but the cool thing. I listened to the commentary after it was over, and the cool thing is it's about the World Championship of Poker. There's like $10 million on the line, and the director wasn't sure who should win. There was 2 or 3 people that should have won. So what he actually did, and like Cheryl Hines, a bunch of these people actually play poker like quite a lot. So no, but listen to what he did. This is what he did. So for the final match, when it's down to these 6 people in the final match, he actually had them play it for real and filmed it. And he didn't know who was going to win any more than anybody else did. And the actor that actually won the match won. And see, the looks on their faces is phenomenal because they really did it. They were so engrossed in the final tournament because they were actually playing for who wins in the movie. It was great. This is so worth seeing. I love this movie.
You know who Cheryl Hines is married to, don't you?
Yeah, I know. We're not talking about politics.
I didn't say politics. I just,
I don't.
was curious if you knew.
I don't care.
Oh man.
In the movie, they're all great in the movie, and it's just worth seeing. Check this out if you get a chance.
She did a couple of weeks ago. She was on the Joe Rogan show, and it was a pretty interesting interview.
Okay, which is the best of Hitchcock's last 4 films? The ones after Marnie. Which ones are they? Family Plot?
Frenzy.
Yeah,
I like Frenzy.
I like Frenzy a lot. Yeah.
What else we have?
Topaz is the worst, I think.
I never saw Topaz.
Was the one with Paul Newman?
No, that was Torn Curtain.
Torn Curtain, which is a lot better than what I remembered it the first time. I enjoyed it.
It's got some classic. I mean, that killing scene to show how long it actually takes to kill somebody. That's pretty classic as a scene.
It was a lot more suspenseful than what I remembered it, and I'm glad I ended up picking it up.
You're not going to believe it, but I would go for Family Plot. I know everybody says that's his worst film, but I recently saw it, and I really enjoyed it.
I've never seen Chinatown. Yes, I still admit it, and I have it on the shelf back there. I found a DVD of it months ago, and I'll get it on before I'm not here.
I've never been interested in watching The Two Jakes, but I know Kino Lorber released it. So,
there we go. What's it? Wait, hold on a minute. Oh, there you go.
It's a piss poor press book, but that's all there was to this press book. There's one fold.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah. I dug some press books. I can't seem to get this page open, but it came like that, and they did the very same thing, believe it or not.
Oh, don't show Joe that one.
So
I'm surprised I don't have it. I have a lot of press books, but that's not among them.
that's the original British press book. And what interested me about this is, if I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but can you see the photograph at the top there on the top corner? So what they're doing is they're showing this theatre managers the different sort of photographs that are available, and that's a photograph from a deleted scene. So it's not in the film. You remember that deleted scene? You can get it.
Looks like the guy's holding the kid, right?
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
right.
Yeah,
yes, that's the scene that they
He
deleted.
takes him. He kind of like holds him and gets dragged with him.
That's right. Yeah, and Steve McQueen, Steven Spielberg decided it was too gory to go in the film, so you can only see it as a deleted scene on the Blu-ray. So why they've included that photograph as part of the
they do that often.
Yeah, they used to do it all the time.
That's
in America, all the exploitation directors, they used to, when they they would put the trailers out months before the film was ever edited, but they'd go through the film, decide which scenes for sure were shot better, and their trailers would all be made up of 100% scenes that weren't actually in the movie.
Yeah, that's not that rare.
The first article.
Hold on.
The first article I wrote for Sight and Sound was about the deleted scenes and the alternate takes you can find in trailers, because at that time people didn't know. So that was my first published article for them. So
I have a Planet of the Apes press book. Mine's not like that.
Right. So I mean America probably went to town a bit more than did
no, I don't know. That one there's pretty to town. That's pretty involved.
And what you get with Beneath the Planet of the Apes is more of the same. It's exactly the same format. Used to be able to get these for 25 pence each in the 1970s, which is when I bought this in the 1970s. And I haven't brought them down to show you, but
I love that picture of James Gregory as the ape. Ursus.
Ursus, yeah. So when they came to do Conquest and Battle, they put a bit more effort into it, so it's well packaged. But those are upstairs, so I can't show you those. But what I can show you,
you got more.
Well, I've got one more press book that I can show you, because I know it's a big deal with Joe, which is that one.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal. Yeah. Oh man, that's one of my favorite movies.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let me know when you want to sell that.
You know,
so there you go.
I met Charlton Heston 3 times, and one time I had a thing of the Mega Man lobby card, and it had that picture of him with the gun. Oh, that's another. That's a good one.
These are I've had these since about 1973. I bought them for 50 pence for the whole set of 8, because that's what the cinema manager. Yeah, but they're 10 by 8s though.
Hold on a minute. That one, that's the one. I want to tell a story about this one, quick. That's one that I got Charlton Heston to sign, and he was with a friend of his. He wasn't saying this to me, but he looks over at his friend. He goes, "Now that's a gun."
I think there was a tradition in movies between 1960s to early 70s that Charlton Heston was contractually obliged to take his shirt off in every film.
Yeah. Pass. I think these are similar. I've seen these in America. Lobby cards.
Vaccine
with that pad in his pants. If you look at, you could see a pad in his pants when he sticks the needle in it.
Yes.
Vaccine. Too bad they couldn't get Pam Grier for that movie. I mean, Rosalind Cash was fine, but I would have liked Pam Grier. Well,
yep.
Very, very nice to see that stuff. Appreciate it.
But the best one out of the lot, I think, is that one. That's just a really cool photograph.
I would need more of the mutation people in there.
Right? Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Anthony Zerbe doesn't get a look in, does he? In those.
Yeah.
Stills?
Right. Well, anyway, when you showed the Jaws thing, I got to flash this because I forgot to. This is a book I've wanted,
Ooh.
and
Yeah,
it's still sealed. I just got this.
Cool.
As a part of an anniversary present. It was my anniversary. And
Beautiful.
Jaws Memories from Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, I've got that.
There's a lot of really good behind the scenes photos in this, and my girlfriend got me this. So.
And it's not cheap, that, Joe.
No, it's not. It's helped me $75 US.
But if you're only going to get one book on Jaws, I think that's the book to get.
Yeah, sure. Don't worry, Tom. I haven't forgotten you.
No, I'm just gonna say I'm sure at the end of the month when she's asking for a few bucks, she might be raising that, just to help pay for that book.
Oh, really? You know how much I spent on a ring for her? No, it wasn't an engagement ring, but it was up there.
It was a promise ring, right?
It was a 15-year anniversary red ruby.
Nice, Joe.
But let's see. I'm going to try to move along because I told her, let me talk amongst yourselves for 5 minutes. I'll tell her make dinner 7:30 because I said 7:15. She's just heating up some meatloaf, but go ahead, guys.
Yeah. So that's
well.
Cool.
In that case,
cool.
I'll point out that this poster.
Yeah.
I bought this very cheap because it's really raggedy. There's a corner bit that's torn off.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, you can kind of tell it's a little raggedy, but it looks great though.
It's 1960. It's a British movie directed by Joe Losey, and he worked with Stanley Baker quite a bit. So he's the main star of it, and John Dankworth did the soundtrack, and Cleo Lane did the main title song. And it's quite, for the time, for 1960, it was quite gritty to the point where it was a little bit, at least in the UK, a bit controversial, sort of bordering on violence. It'd be nothing now, but back in 1960 and in sedate UK, it was kind of gritty. The import shows Kim Novak on the front cover with, oh, okay, right.
Now, I see Rocco, if you still hear Rocco, Rocco is very much a fan of all kinds of dialogue from TV series, movies. You glued your pencil to a bowling ball. Boy, you had a busy day from The Odd Couple, right?
Oh, boy, you had a busy day.
That's the scene.
Well, you prefer the TV series to the film, don't you, Joe?
Oh, yeah. Most people do.
No.
Yes,
not
they do.
true. No,
it's
true.
A fact. They do. Most.
No,
not all, but most.
Oh.
But
I'm not gonna grab it. Whatever.
No, that poster again.
No, the Blu-ray.
Speaking about Cindy Williams, how about 1974's The Conversation?
Well, she's got a bit part in there. Yeah.
She's also in 1972's Beware the Blob.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I met Cindy Williams. Yep. Remember what she said to me? People insult me a lot because people, I make jokes. I don't know if I can tell this story, but quickly, I had to sign an autograph on a still from American Graffiti. And I said, oh yeah, I love this movie. She's got like a good sense of humor, and she was a lot acting like Shirley on Laverne and Shirley. I said, sometimes, in fact, at the end, the way it ends, and it's like the sun's coming up. Sometimes I'll even watch the movie. I think I did it once in my life, folks, but with my friend. But this is the way it came out when I met. I said, we'll watch the movie, we'll cue it up. So at the end with the big car crash scene when it says the sun's coming up, I said, we did it as the sun comes up. And she goes, Joe, you need to get out more often. He said it just like you would picture her saying it like Shirley or somebody like that. But
the amount of times people have said that very same thing to me.
But is this woman? Is she the one that's Corinne on that show? Soap? Diane?
Yeah. No, she's.
I wouldn't
in-
mind seeing her in that nudie musical.
she's in that movie. No, she's like Cindy Williams. She does not. No.
Yeah, I know. It's disappointing.
Darn
Yeah,
it.
neither is Judy Canova. Only a couple.
It's wild.
There's
Yeah,
not that
Nuremberg
much
was-
nudity.
Nuremberg was my favorite movie of last year.
I think I'm going down because we got a lot of. I think everybody would say Jaws 2. I don't even love Jaws 2, even.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
it's really
I
only the original.
would say Jaws 2 of the best sequels, I guess.
The best Jaws
I just
sequel,
think that 4 is not as bad as 3, in my opinion.
I think the best Jaws sequel is the original Jaws in 3D.
Well, that's well said.
There
I
you
think
go.
Sharknado.
I knew there'd have to be a smoke comment. There always has to be a smoke comment. Yeah, and the only reason I like Jaws 2 really is because Roy Scheider returns, and so does Murray Hamilton and Lorraine Gary.
But I can remember an interview with Roy Scheider on BBC's film night, and this was during the making of the film, and he was saying how reluctant he was to do it, that he was not happy. He was actually publicizing that.
He did not want to do it. No.
Yeah, but to actually say it, Joe, instead of marketing the movie, I thought, wow.
Well, in those days you could. Now you couldn't.
The only reason he did it was because they were going to count it as 2 pictures. I'm going to try to call movies pictures. You ever notice the old guys? They said that we made a new picture. I'm going to start calling pictures. It was a 2-picture deal. Like I think it was. Didn't he have something to do with the Deer Hunter? Or was supposed to have something to do with the Deer Hunter, but he
Not
didn't.
to my knowledge. I have a book on the Deer Hunter. I should read to see if he
I
did.
think it was something about. Oh man, he walked away from the Deer Hunter, possibly something like that. Maybe I'm thinking. And anyway, and they were going to forget about it and forget about him doing 2. He's going to count Jaws 2 as 2 movies for him, his contract. They'd forget about. That's what I think. Somebody could look this up. I thought I heard that once that he there was something they were sore at him about, and they were going to forget it. And also, they would count this as a 2-picture deal if he does the sequel, which made sense. I
It could have
guess.
been so different if they'd have got Richard Dreyfuss as well. Would have made all the difference.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, you'd have to get it. I think they would have done it. I always heard that because they were doing Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Spielberg also, I think, maybe would have done it. I think, from what I understand.
I mean, they couldn't have brought Robert Shaw back and said he could they?
Yeah.
It's
Black is like all contributed or whatever. How you read it. I like this question a lot.
Well, I'm trying to think who's like living actors that
Living director. No, who is the best living director?
Oh, directors.
One. Yeah, who is the
Jim
who is the best
Jarmusch?
living No. Brian De Palma.
he never won.
No, Brian De Palma's never.
Well, then again, a lot of his stuff is borrowed.
Yeah, well,
I like it.
True.
I like him as a director overall.
I think he's the best living director that hasn't won in the Academy.
You know. Thanks for giving me the heads up, Tom, about this movie, The Private War of Major Benson, later this month. I'm gonna call it a first viewing when I get it. It'll be a first time viewing, even though I had it on. I recorded it off TV once, and I watched some of it. But so it's a comedy. Very rare for Charlton Heston to be in a comedy.
Yeah.
So he's kind of. I remember he's kind of the straight man in the comedy. But
what date is it?
That's supposed to be precursor to what was the one that came out in more modern times, Major Payne, or something else. It was actually that is the modern remake of this. I think it might have been Major Payne or one of those army things. Private War, Major Benson. I have a stack of lobby cards, maybe 50, 60 of movies from the 60s and 70s.
Oh, cool.
I have like some in that closet over here, back here. I got stuff that I can't display where I got them framed. I have a lot of like B movie lobby cards of old cheesy science fiction and horror movies, and I do have Lugosi, an original lobby card from 1943, is The Ape Man. That it's it's worth, these things are worth a lot of money. Original movie posters of old horror movies.
Who made that comment, Joe? That just in the chat that just said that. Who was it?
The lobby cards.
Yeah, John Marino. When this video goes up, John, it'd be really interesting if you listed in the comments some of the ones that you've got, some of the films that you've got. I'd be interested to read that.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. It's called One Shot: The Making of the Deer Hunter. And I'll take a look at this and see what, because one person said Schneider was supposed to do the Christopher Walken role, and another person said he was supposed to do the De Niro role. So I'll definitely look into this and maybe have an answer for you guys next week.
Because I heard that I don't know what he did say violated. So I don't know if he walked off or he did not, something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it's something to do with it. Okay, thank you, Halloween Rock. And it's always good to see Mike here. Hello, Mike. Be sure to watch his channel if you like old movies. Not just old, but mostly vintage old stuff.
Absolutely.
I prefer the movie. I got to put it up. I prefer the movie. Well, okay, you're an individual. I'm telling you, look it up anytime. Not saying anybody's right or wrong, but a lot of it has to do with a lot of things in life, what you come to first. I don't see it. I just don't see, if you came to the show first, I don't see how you could ever accept anybody else's Felix and Oscar. It's impossible.
I think the film by a mile, but the slight problem I can remember having with the film is that sometimes Walter Matthau plays it so mean-spirited, it kind of dampens the humor on some of the scenes. He's like, wow, he's really going for Felix there.
Well, I would too.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get the point across. This guy is annoying,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Fortune Cookie is better than the Odd Couple, though.
You know what? Of their 4 or 5 or 6, whatever it is, collaboration films they did together, not including JFK because they didn't do.
Is that the one with the football where he's injured?
Yeah, he's injured. Yeah. Matthau is the cheap lawyer brother-in-law,
right?
And it is a very, very good movie.
That was one of the few times, like with the Silver Chalice yesterday, where I actually was going on Turner and a movie was about to start, and I said, I'm supposed to be a movie fan, but I don't just watch anything, I'm most of the time. But I'm like, oh, the Fortune Cookie is going to start. I'll watch it. That's one time where I sat in and I liked it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I saw Tony Randall in a Bob Hope skit parodying the Beatles, the Japanese Beatles. Does that sound familiar in a way? Okay, Rocco. Good night to you. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is funny. Look, this is funny, but there's a lot more funny lines in the TV show. Told you 150 times I can't stand little notes on my pillow. We are all out of cornflakes. F you. Took me 3 hours to figure out F you was Felix Unger.
Hey, that's pretty good, Joe. That was a pretty good impression.
Oh, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Hey, I was just going to say, don't eat a lot of hot dogs at the ball game. I made Franks and beans for dinner. A triple play, and you missed it, Oscar. It was the most beautiful thing. Are you crazy? Are you take the Frankfurters and it's hilarious.
Does he come from your end of town, Walter Matthau, Joe? Are you from the same place?
Oh, I don't know. Where's he from?
He's a New Yorker, isn't he, Walter Matthau? Wasn't he?
Sounds like one.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Maybe on the next live stream I can be prepared. By the way, Tom, we didn't ask you what you saw. Damn it, let's do it already. Hold on.
Real quick. You know, I picked up a Blu-ray from the greatest genre of all time. Tim, I think you showed this one because you watched it recently, and it's a great Coen Brothers film. It's The Man Who Wasn't There.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Billy Bob Thornton. You know, great little film noir, or later day film noir, shot in black and white. Great cinematography in this one. This is one of their, I think, underrated, underappreciated films. I think it's like, you know, just, you know, it's up there, but, you know, a little step below like Fargo and The Big Lebowski, you know, and Blood Simple, and all that. But, you know, really good Coen Brothers film. Yeah. Okay.
Good commentary track on that.
Yeah, right. And recently, you know, I was, you know, now that I got, you know, 95% of my Blu-rays up, I was looking at stuff I've been wanting to rewatch. And I rewatched the original Indiana Jones trilogy of Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and The Last Crusade. And I had a great time, you know, revisiting these films. And I'm going to watch the fourth one is here. This was released when there was just 4 Indiana Jones films. There's a 5th one now.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever see the 5th one?
I really don't have any interest in seeing the 5th one.
I'm good with the first 3. I'm good with the first one only, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Well, no, listen, the first one is a classic. You know, the second one, I think, the second one is the reason why we have PG-13 movies. And the third one was, it's enjoyable, but, you know, they have the 2 returning characters from the first film, the Jonathan Ray Davies and the Damien Elliott was his name, I think, whatever. But anyways, and then they just make them like the comical bits of, you know, the comedy relief of the third film. And it's too bad because they were really good in the first one. So yeah, enjoyed revisiting the first 3 Indiana Jones films. I did go see a movie last night, a brand new film called The Drama, which stars Zendaya, who's in these the Dune movies and the new Spider-Man movies, and Robert Pattinson, who is the current Batman. And really enjoyed this film. It was a nice little more smaller independent film, A24, which is the name of the studio, and they put out great smaller independent, especially the horror films. They're the studio that did Hereditary, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they also did like The Witch, and smaller horror films like that. They did Marty Supreme, which Timothy Chalamet was nominated for Best Actor for. But really good. They play a couple about ready to get married. They're with another couple, and they all answer the question, what is the worst thing you've ever done in your life? And Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, they're the engaged couple. Zendaya gives the answer, and it's really hard for Robert Patterson's character is kind of like overwhelmed with him, and it's the movie that is then, you know, how he handles the situation of like the worst thing that she's ever done. And good little movie. I was glad it made like 14 million at the box office this past weekend, so I was really happy that it was, you know, that it got some money, because, you know, they are pretty notable stars and they are good actors. I think Robert Pattinson is a fantastic actor. Zendaya is getting better. I liked her in the Dune films. I don't know if you guys saw the recent Dune movies or not, but I think they're 10 times better than the one that's David Lynch did in the 80s. But then again, that whole Lynch situation was completely different. So that's the one I got to see in the theaters last night. And and other than that, get back to you next week. So there you
go. Now, Joe, your recollection of old movies is impressive. Now it's garbage. Yeah. Let's go.
Yep. So I'm looking forward next week. I'll tell you about Faster Pussycat Kill Kill Kill. Really looking forward to seeing that.
Love that film. Love.
It's an exploitation film, right?
Well, anything with word, I love anything with exploitation. So
and Russ Meyer's cinematography, he was just a great cameraman. He would just he just was. He was. I mean, he used to shoot pinup stills. He was a
I
really
can't
good
remember-
cameraman and really good
Yeah.
at.
I can't remember if it's Severin or if it's Vinegar Syndrome that have been releasing Russ Meyer's, a bunch of Russ Meyer's films on Blu-ray. So one of those two.
Well, good.
We'll be- The live stream will be over anytime now.
Yeah.
They were so hard to find once upon a time. I mean, you just couldn't.
Yeah. So anyway, what else could we discuss? We got a little bit of time, but got time for just 30, 40 more questions. No, not really, because I gotta
Not
get to
really.
supper's waiting, and I gotta get to it.
You gonna put ketchup on that meatloaf, Joe?
Sure am, and probably hot sauce too.
Ooh, what now? When you say hot sauce, what's your preferred hot
The
sauce?
sriracha. How do you say that? Sriracha.
Sriracha.
Something like that. Sriracha.
Yeah, sriracha is very good. Sriracha is very good.
That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. I've got that song stuck in my head lately, and not Reba McEntire, Vicki Lawrence.
Of course.
When I sold a lot of my posters and stills, I had them typed out on my manual typewriter. I think this was in the late 1970s, with the prices on, and I circulated them on. So you could have bought from me The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly original poster for 75 pence.
Oh wow!
That's like 3/4 of £1. You could have bought Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the original poster, for 75p. Magnum Force, the original poster. High Plains Drifter, all of those for 75p. You could have bought Westworld, the original poster,
Whoa!
75p. Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, 75p. Some of these didn't sell. You could have bought from me, and somebody did buy Jaws, the poster, the original poster, for 75p. Curse of the Crimson Altar. Oh, that was a press book. I've still got that. Nobody bought it.
That's another missed opportunity film.
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing that. So those two press books that I showed you, Planet of the Apes and Beneath the Planet of the Apes, they were circulated for sale at 60 pence each, but nobody bought them. That's why I've still got them all these years, all these decades later, because nobody bought them.
I got a lot of one sheets, man. I got them in the closets. You know, I got
famous Monsters of Filmland #8. You could have bought for £3 from me. #9, £3. #10, £3. So lots of magazines that I used to, like Spaceman, things like that I used to.
By the way, I disagree with you. There's not that much sugar in the ketchup. I don't believe it, and I'm not stopping it. If I'm not going to have a soda and ice cream and cake and cookies and pie, you damn well I'll put a little bit of ketchup on my meatloaf. I don't want to know nothing.
You gotta get the sugar somewhere.
You know, no. But you don't eat sugar. But anyway, I got to taste it though. By the way, I'm not saying today I did good. By the way, no. Or yesterday, you were.
Whoops.
Again with Hitchcock. What's this? Again with Hitchcock. What is your favorite film from his early British era? I haven't seen them all. You guys, what do you name?
39 Steps, was it?
Yeah, 39 Steps is great.
Yeah.
Oh, The Lady Vanishes too. That's even
The
better.
Lady Vanishes is really good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But Sabotage is really good too. That's the first British sound film.
Isn't that the one where I get them mixed? Oh, isn't that the one with the bomb on the bus?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
First British sound film is Sabotage.
Yeah. If you blink, you'll miss Dan Aykroyd's small role in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Yep. You can clearly hear him when you hear him talking. You clearly know it's Dan Aykroyd, though.
But I think the first British sound film from Hitchcock was Blackmail, though, which was a bit earlier than that.
Well, it wasn't a full sound film. I mean, the first film with dialogue, and it was because I took film, and that was one of the we had to memorize that the first British sound film ever was Alfred Hitchcock.
I went to some midnight.
Are you sure
But
about
if you
that?
listen to it, it's amazing because he's already really good at sound. And it's the very first British sound film. And he's already got it down. It's pretty amazing.
The reason I think it's blackmail is because the famous sound scene there is where the woman keeps repeating the word knife, 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 and every other word is garbled, but every time she says knife, it comes out loud because the woman who's listening to this has murdered somebody with a knife. This is actually a 24 picture set, so I'll go through them very fast. Drowning Pearl was his sequel to Harper. So he made Harper in 1966. Yeah. He played the same private investigator in 1975. And by this time, he was very cool, very classy, very stylish. If you compare this film, Drowning Pearl, 1975, to when he played this character the first time in Harper in 1966, you'll see what I mean about how he was a bit gauche, a bit clumsy, a bit trying too hard to be cool. But by this time, he wasn't trying to be cool. He just was. So I think.
Yeah, but Harper's the better movie, though. I think.
I think Newman's performance is so bad that he ruins the film. It's great. Okay. It's great cinematography, but it's just embarrassing when he's trying to be cool. It's like he hadn't learned how to be still yet. In 1966.
That's an early role for Melanie Griffith too, I believe.
I've never seen so many lobby cards for one movie.
It's a 24 set. It's a great film, though. I love this song. I saw it when it first came out in '75, and that's the last one. There you go.
Well, hey, 4D, I'm still reading that book on Hitch, and just cool. Read the part about blackmail and putting sound.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not considered it's mostly silent. With there is a
lot of that's true. Yeah, that is true. It is because he went back and did some. Yeah.
Yeah, the first
sound in it.
Oh, I see. No, I think I see. Are you saying, Tim, that it was the first film that was deliberately set out to be sound right from the beginning?
Yes. It's the first all sound film that came out of Britain. Like the Jazz Singer gets the credit for the first sound film full length, but it's not. It only has sound parts.
Yeah, I'm with you now, Tim, because with Blackmail, it started out as a silent film and they went back and dubbed stuff. I'm with you now.
Exactly. But there are noises and things in Sabotage that are just creepy, and it's amazing how well he used sound, considering no one else had done this before him. I mean,
you were very patient with me there, Tim. You just casually waited for me to catch up with you. I was a beat behind in all of that, but I finally caught up with you.
Guys, why don't we end on a happy agreement? Because I need to go. Wait a minute. What do you got now? Oh, what does it got to do with this? The Volpe photos. Those are in good shape, though. Mine are kind of torn.
Well, these are fantastic shape, and these are some of the best shapes that I've ever seen these posters in.
Really good. That's the note to end then. All right, everybody. So thank you all for being here. Thank Tim, Tom, 4D. Thank you, everybody. I'm wondering if we got to make these shows a little long. I have to start them a little earlier usual, but people are usually at work on my neck of the woods when I'm starting them.
You could carry the show on when you're in the car and you're going to pick up your girlfriend. No way. But today, she's here just making dinner. Dinner's on the table any second. Right. Okay.
So, today was a different time we started and so on and so on. So look out for Mondays, everybody. Monday's usually when we do. Just think movies and Monday with the M. All right. So thanks, everybody. Don't forget to watch the Odd Couple TV show. Don't forget to watch the movie too.
While you're still on, Joe, just a message to that fellow John, who said he's got all those 60s lobby cards and things. I mean, if I'm quite happy to stay in chat if he would like to come up and actually show them. I'd be really interested to see which ones he had. If he wanted to do that next week, I'd be happy to.
Next week,
to stay in the chat and just to give him that option.
Okay, there you go, John. Thank you, everybody. Got to run.
Cheers.
Food
Cheers.
won't wait.